Hey, Jordan Cooper here, GameWorld1.com. I'm coming to you from South Carolina on my Thanksgiving vacation because I feel it's important to weigh in on the decision made by Sports Interactive and SEGA this week about the future of Football Manager Live, which, contrary to most popular opinion on the forums, I happen to agree with from a general perspective. And before you jump down my throats and say that I'm a fanboy or a suck up or a crony, I think it's better to realize the fact that in an MMO environment, the number one core fundamental principle of an MMO is character development. And to reset everyone's character is something that is obviously fairly unheard of in the industry. And the fact that they have decided to go this route should prove the fact that it is the last resort of the game. And I think a lot of people don't realize that if they don't do this, the game is essentially over. If it's gotten to this point, and they freely admit that they completely fucked up the past year, I mean, if it's gotten to this point, that's obviously true. So when you consider complaining about, oh my god, I can't believe they're going to do this, realize that if they don't, you will not have a game to play anymore. Do I like the decision? No. I wish they didn't have to do this. But for a general perspective, I'd rather have a game than not have a game at all. Now, as I say, that the general sentiment I do agree with, but some of the details are definitely like what do you do the next 4 months? I mean, it's astonishing. I know that they're not going to be able to code all this new stuff and get everything ready immediately. So I mean, I understand that, but how do you tell a user base, hey, we're everything you do for the next 4 months really ends up meaning nothing. We'll give you a little medal or about you to an elite game world, but for I mean, it's kind of pointless. People want to play when something means something. So I mean, my attitude is the next 4 months, like, why are we even playing? I mean, what's the point? And the fact that they've said that everyone gets 2 months free just seems like who came up with that logic? Like you're gonna say that, oh, this is something that's gonna happen 4 months from now, but half that time we'll give you for free. The other half you're gonna have to pay $7.99 to play a game that really means nothing. So I mean that it just the appearance of that just seems ludicrous to me, just from a perception standpoint. My attitude is that anyone that has paid in advance should be freely able to get a refund for the time that they've paid for it. So you pay for a year in advance, and if you want to get that money back from this point forward, feel free to go ahead. I hope that Sega and Sports Interactive allow you to do that. As far as getting refunds for your past time, I feel that's a little bit ludicrous. You did pay for entertainment. You do have, you that's what you paid for. So I believe that they wouldn't have done this if this wasn't legally able to do so. So all the people that are complaining about, oh, we're going to petition and have some lawsuits, it's stupid. You played, you paid, and there you go. This is the decision. If the game was over and then they just ended the game, you wouldn't be asking for your money. But I mean, that's at some point the game will end. 30 years down the road, I want all my 30 years money back. It sounds absolutely stupid. Uh, I mean, the only thing that I could be critical about, as far is the communication aspect of it, is the fact that I think a lot of people are perturbed that they weren't consulted. There wasn't a vote. There wasn't. I mean, my attitude is that the game is not democratic. This is Sports Interactive's game. This is Sega's game. They could choose to make it any way they want. They could choose not to consult with the community at all. But the perception that you're not taking your current customer base into account for your decision is something that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your company's existence. Because basically, you've taken the trust of 15,000 people and just twist, and it's gone. It's gone. And I believe that Sega and Sports Interactive are aware of this, and the fact that they're willing to basically say, hey, we're gonna have to, you can't trust us anymore. It shows how much they fucked up with this game. So if you don't like what they're doing, you have power of the purse. Cancel. Cancel. Never play the game ever again. Tell all your friends never to play the game. Everything is in your right. They're gonna have to work really hard to get everyone's trust back that they're doing this for the right thing, and we won't really know for another year or so. I mean, like people have stated, who says that this won't happen again? Who says that it'll get to the point where the old game worlds are no longer viable? Well, hopefully it won't, and hopefully this will because everything in the 1.4 update, if you take a look at a lot of stuff, it's changing the fundamental gameplay in its entirety. The fact that the teams that you have exist now is because of basically flawed gameplay, and had everything been tested properly and people's thoughts on the fundamental flaws of the game were taken into account, maybe we wouldn't have gotten to this point. And I don't want to relive like how SI fucked up, but a lot of the sentiment that's been happening now is nothing new that I remember even saying in the beta process. That the whole attitude in the beta was, this will change when they pay, and we've obviously proven that that's not the case. However the game was in beta is exactly the way it was when it went retail. So from a general perspective, I do happen to agree with their decision to reset all the game worlds, and I like the two flavors of game worlds. But as everyone has said on the forums, my concerns are we have to fundamentally change the gameplay to the point in which this won't happen again. I mean, I agree with guys like Jack Swan, who says with progression there has to be regression. With Teabag, with the complete rethink of what the football associations are. I mean, all this type of stuff. I think the reputation system that comes in 1.4, injuries, and the youth academies will fundamentally change how the game is played from day one. So if it involves resetting all the game worlds to make sure that everything runs tip top in season 20, then go for it. But they're going to have to live with the fact that 15,000 people are going to be pissed the fuck off. And hopefully that word of mouth won't get out to the point where you can't attract new subscribers. So hopefully we'll be looking at this 2 or 3 years from now when FML has 200,000 subscribers and say, yes, it was willing to piss off 15,000 people to make this game great and have 250,000 people playing it. I hope we get to that point, and I hope people could see that they stay on to the game and live with it. But I hope that SI offers refunds to those that have advanced purchases, and what I definitely hope is that that the communication to new subscribers. I mean, if you look at FootballManagerLive.com, I mean, all this announcement has been done in the subscription area. So I think it's if the company allows people to sign up now, being unaware that things are going to fundamentally change in March 2010, I think that's wholly and unequivocally unethical. So what I hope for in the very soon is that they post something on the official site for the public to see that announces all of this type of stuff, so people don't unwillingly pay $73.99 for a game that will change. Okay, and that's why I mean, just like I said in the Out of Touch video last month, that you have to at least give the perception, make people think that you care. We know that you do. I know that you do. But I mean, with all the backlash on the council, it's like Melly didn't say yes, you should do the reset. I mean, and that was the final. It's like, oh, if the council says so, that's what we're going to do. No, it wasn't like that. They were going to decide this anyway. So why try to fight it? Give your points, give your opinions. They're the game developers. It's their game. They're going to do it whatever way they want to do it. And just don't buy it. Tell all your friends not to buy it. That's all you really have to do. If you like it, tell your friends that you like it. If you don't, go on Facebook, go on Twitter, broadcast to the entire world that SI are greedy and they don't care about anyone and they can't be trusted. That's perfectly in your right. And I believe that the company realizes that the backlash to this announcement will significantly affect their bottom line in the next coming months. But hopefully that small, big chunk of money that they're going to lose in the next 4 months is going to be made up when the game is fundamentally better and restarts again and gets new subscribers and makes the game even appealing to older subscribers. So that's my thoughts, and feel free to just rant at me and call me an asshole all you want on the comments.